If let's say right now, right, Lee Hsien Yang were to run for the presidency and with other candidates, who will you choose? Like, do you think he will get it or not?
Just say.
In September 2023, right, Halimah Yacob's term is going to end, which means that Singapore is going to look for a new president.
For this year.
No, Halimah Yacob has been president for so long.
How long are the one term? 5 years?
5 years. Now you can elect already.
No lah.
Can.
Yeah, the last time right, you cannot. Right?
Now you can elect.
The last time one,
Yeah, 21 years old.
Yeah.
I mean last time one,
He also never.
Why? Yeah.
Nobody contested Halimah Yacob.
yeah, nobody.
It was granted, yeah. So guess who expressed interest in this current one?
Who's the? Tan Jin Bock.
Tan Jin Bock.
Tan Jin Bock.
You retired already. But I know.
You know.
Lee Hsien Yang.
Yes, Lee
Yes.
Hsien Yang. So in the recent Bloomberg interview, right, he actually said this. A lot of people have come to me. They really want me to run. It's something I would consider. That's what he said.
Brother versus brother.
Wow.
Is it not versus hand in hand?
There are a lot of criteria to fulfill if you want to be a president. And he seems like a possible candidate. So if you are in a private sector, right, one criteria you must hit is you must be the CEO of a company that is valued at least 500 million. So this one, you know, he used to be a CEO of Singtel lah, so the criteria is fulfilled. And other criteria, right, is you must be a Singapore citizen, at least 45-year-old, not be an undischarged bankrupt.
Cannot already.
Yeah. The 45 I say right.
Be a person of integrity,
That's it.
good character, and reputation. Yeah, so for all that I've said, right, most of them he got no issue. But for the last one, right, it might affect him to be a president.
The integrity.
You guys remember a few years ago, right, there was this scene, the Oxley scene?
Actually, what is it exactly about? Like the entire there's a hoo-ha about it, right?
Yeah.
What is it
Basically, Lee Kuan Yew wanted his house demolished lah. So the whole incident happened because of this. He wanted his house demolished right from the start. Then two camps started to form. One camp is Hsien Loong. So Hsien Loong tried to convince him, or rather, I wouldn't say convince him lah, we cannot pof ma. He actually let him know that the government has the right to preserve the house. So even though you want to demolish and stuff, they still have the right to, because of national significance, they can preserve at least some parts of it. So Lee Kuan Yew was actually acceptable to the idea. He accepted that the government has the right, but I want at least the living quarters, the living space and all, demolished for my family's privacy. You want to preserve like the basement where the PAP used to congregate at the early days? Fine. But at least some parts I need it gone lah. Or if let's say you're not going to demolish it, then somebody must be living there. I get the sense, right, that he feels there's a memory of this place for him. There's a good memory lah, and he doesn't want the memory to be tainted. So on the other camp, there is Hsien Yang and Wei Ling, the other two siblings. They are on the other camp, and they were supportive of the view of demolishing. In fact, they held very strongly to the idea that Dad wants to demolish. That is the only view he holds. That is, as kids, that is our duty to fulfill. So right up to all the way to the end, right, they still held on to that view. To the point where, if I don't recall wrongly, when they created the second last will, there wasn't any mention of demolishing the house.
Yeah.
So Lee Kuan Yew was okay to just let it be, see what is going to happen. I'm just going to give my assets to the kids lah. But then Hsien Yang actually, he engaged his wife and he had some expedited will happening lah for the last will. So that one, there was a whole issue. Why? Because they felt, firstly, his wife as a lawyer should know that there's a conflict of interest. She shouldn't have done that. Secondly, they felt she was acting on his interests. So his interest was basically, let's demolish the house. So there were a few things that happened, and then I think there was some investigation going on and stuff. They said that he was lying to the court about the exact events that happened and stuff.
So because of that, right, they actually opened up an investigation for it. In last year, 2022 June, they actually got called to, for the investigation, but they pushed it to July. But in July, they did not turn
Chow,
up.
right?
Yeah, they did not turn up and they chow. They flee Singapore.
So they've been away, nobody knows exactly where, but estimates are somewhere in Europe.
Correct.
Somewhere in Europe, they've been living for the last 9 months or so.
Yeah. So by leaving the country and not wanting to assist with the investigation, right, do you all think that would point to him that he's guilty or he has his reason for doing what he's actually doing?
I feel, okay, because the purpose of this police investigation, right, is to clear his name. Okay, is to set everything right.
It is one thing that can come out of it.
So, the only way to do it or get the result is to actually assist in the investigation. To see what the police need. Okay, I can bring out, I can justify and whatever. But by
Chowing
yeah, somehow okay, at first you say okay, then they postpone, right? Then before the postponed date, you escape the country. I feel it's a bit suspicious because that can only mean two things. One is they know that the police has done their own investigation and they have evidence against him. Or that if they do go through the investigation, right, and they do some digging, there are things that they will find out he cannot defend. So it makes the most sense to not come back Singapore, just join Singapore. I don't know,
if I'm not mistaken, the allegations are he perjured. And for especially his wife, this is a very big deal. Because as a solicitor, as somebody practicing law, right, if let's say you go to court and you lie in front of them, you'll be stripped away from your title. You won't be able to practice already.
And because of this whole issue, right, she actually got disbarred for 15 months.
From gross misconduct.
That one was, that one was not even for perjury.
Yeah.
That was because there's a conflict of interest in the whole Oxley situation. She's not supposed to be a part of it at all, but she
went ahead.
Wait, that means they excluded, because I'm pretty sure that the wills for Lee Kuan Yew, somebody has been arranging it, right?
Lee Kuan Yew has his own lawyer lah.
So at the last will, they went to intercept and then they took things
crudely put, that was what happened.
Yeah, they purposely exclude his lawyer, Lee Kuan Yew's lawyer.
And it's expedited by in 16 hours. So I don't know what's their reason for the rush, right? But there's some.
And they say that it's not contactable to the lawyer.
The lawyer.
So yesterday, right, actually Lee Hsien Yang wrote a post on his Facebook. He feels that the system has been unjust to him and has oppressed not just him but also his family. So this is the quote that he actually said. We have all paid dearly. We have been the subject of a concerted and vindictive pattern of persecution orchestrated under a system led by my own elder brother. And then he went on to say this. After what I have been through, I have no confidence whatsoever in the system. So
I understand because the thing is, it is not just him facing the brunt of the law. His son especially, and his son is actually quite he has a lot of credentials He's doing very well in his own field, but because of a couple of things he has said, and the funny thing is he said it in private Facebook posts. So actually it's not supposed to be publicized. But he said a couple of things and then some people were sharing his stuff, and because of that he was found to be in contempt of court. So right now he's just living abroad
No, I mean the family being under attack, right? I mean the family also put themselves there, They during the whole Oxley Road saga, they have been doing posting their own point of view on social media.
They were quite
active,
vociferous on social media.
Yeah, so of course they are PAP have to retaliate, right? I mean not retaliate, I mean to counter them So that's why they're being attacked in a way.
Yeah. So if let's say right now, right, Lee Hsien Yang were to run for the presidency and with other candidates, who will you choose? Do you think he will get it or not?
I think there are a lot of opposition supporters who see things the same way as him And sometimes I get from his perspective because there are a few things that he voiced out, and maybe in some ways the government has kind of put a clamp on his views. Also because his views are quite rampant on social media lah, and some of them I don't know how valid they are lah. But I understand why he feels that way, because it seems like, at least from his own point of view, it seems like the government has something personal against him. But a lot of the things that he says, right, a lot of other people got no reason to feel that way, but they feel this way. They feel a sense of oppression and all. There is no reason to feel this way, but they resonate with these kind of terms. So there are people who will vote for him for sure.
For me personally, I feel that although his feelings that the system is against him, right, is justified because he had actually gone through quite a bit lah. But it doesn't question it doesn't prove his innocence based on his integrity point of view. To be a president, you need to be a good person. You need to be have integrity and your reputation, right? So far, his reputation, the position he holds is pretty good lah. But the integrity part, why is he escaping from the investigation, right? Yeah, so you might not know lah. I don't know whether he is lah.
And the fact that you don't even want to participate in the investigation shows maybe you're not the most
But one more thing I ask okay, but the first lady, right, have to be a good person or a person with good heart, no? Because they are really gross misconduct, that one is really a fault.